Greetings. I'm so glad that y'all are here. Happy Friday. Happy Venus Day. All right. So we're going to have a fun, not happy hour, my bad. Ghetto Fairy Friday. Um, yeah, we're going to have some Taurian fun. Okay. So my birthday, we're going to celebrate my birthday today on the live, but my actual birthday isn't until Sunday. So if you guys want to celebrate a birthday with me, we're gonna do it today, tonight. If you guys want to tip the fairy, the ghetto fairy, you guys can click that link that is in the chat or in the description. If you want to tip me, donate, if you want to get something off my Amazon wish list. Hello, everybody. Greetings. Today is actually my cousin's birthday, and I just got back not that long ago from going out with my cousin and having some tacos and some margaritas and some shots. So yeah, today's been pretty chill for the most part. But thank you everybody for the birthday wishes. It is an early birthday wish, but I do appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. So yeah, I'm a May 4th baby. I'm a Star Wars baby. But yeah, we're gonna celebrate it tonight here on the live. We're also gonna tap into some Taurian energy during the season. We're going to talk about everything from money to self worth, self love, and to love and pleasure and all those good things. And we're also going to do a prosperity bowl ritual. I'm going to share it with you guys, and we'll get into that towards the end. But as always, we're going to start off with our fairies. My first 5 fairies for the 1 card free pool. We're going to do that. Um, I don't have the deck that I want to use on me. I have all my Oracle decks I want to use, but somehow somehow I didn't get my deck that I wanted to use tonight. So I'm gonna have to go grab that. But thank you guys for the birthday wishes. Thank you for the donations that I got so far. Thank you so much for the birthday tips. It is greatly appreciated. I appreciate that, y'all. Um, but hello everybody. How y'all doing? Yeah. Thank you. I feel like a little pageant queen, kind of a little bit. My little, you can't see it, but it says Taurus baby on it. It's so cute, you know. It's a little bedazzle. You know, I'm extra. Tauruses, we can be a little extra. Um, I know they be saying Leos is extra, but Tauruses can be a little extra. You know, we can. You know, it's like a self love energy is like really been heavy on my heart. I feel in a way that it's more sacred to me. Like I've always understood the importance, at least a certain level of importance of self-love, but not to the degree where it's really tried and tested. And that's what's been going on lately. So yeah. Your mom is a Taurus. Hey Tawanda. But thank you. Yeah. Let me go grab this deck real quick. I'm thinking about I want to use this moon. I almost want to. I'm like debating between the Aphrodite tarot. I think it's called or the Love Goddess tarot because it's like got the Venusian energy in it. But I'm also like debating between this moon because I didn't get any tarot decks. I have all my oracle cards I want to use. So I'm gonna go grab that real quick, y'all, because I never be on time. I be on like I just be delayed. Happy birthday to your dad. He's a Taurus. He's an April Taurus. He was an April Taurus. Yeah. April Tauruses and May Tauruses are slightly different. I feel like April Tauruses kind of have a little inner essence of Aries in them a little bit to me, like the because like it's late April, so it kind of does give like a little vibe of like Aries energy. Um, and like I'm like right there in like Taurus, like you know, it's different, just slightly different. We understand each other, but we're slightly different. So let me go grab that deck real quick because I'm slow. I can't pull none without my tarot cards. I gotta have my cards on me. So let me go get that real quick. I'll be right back. Okay. All right. Goddess of Love Tarot is what it's called. The Goddess of Love. This is a deck that I like to use for like goddess energy, Venusian energy, because it does pay homage to a lot of goddesses too. All right. So it's nice to have a Taurus friend. I will say, Taurus people, I usually get along with them. Like, I know some people don't get along with like certain signs or like the male or the female aspect of it, but I get along with typically both the women and the men. And then there's some signs where I like, get along with some of the women and then don't get along with the men, or I get along with the women, don't get along, or the men, but don't get along with the women in certain signs. I don't know if it's just like certain things in people's chart, because I had somebody break it down to me that the reason why I don't get along with certain signs is like placements in my chart, or like it's like some weird beef energy. It's really weird. Love or hate each other. I don't know. All right. So I have a few decks that I want to use because I have different things that I'm going to tap into. Um, so I'm going to definitely use the musings of the Aphrodite Oracle. I'm going to use the Latin Love Oracle. Is that what it's called? The Latin Love Oracle, yeah. I'm going to use the Black Moon Lilith Oracle. And I'm also going to use the Faces of Oshun Oracle. So, yeah, we're going to have some fun tonight. We're going to have some fun. This one might be a little lengthier than usual. Because like the last couple of, of the Ghetto Fairy lives haven't really been as lengthy. Like sometimes it does go over like 2 hours, and like an hour might be lengthy to some people, but to me, like I know how I am, and I know I can like go real into things where it can be quite a lengthy live. So, but yeah, I have the decks that I want to use here, the Oracle decks at least, and the Tarot deck finally. So let's start with the Ghetto Fairies, the first 5 Ghetto Fairies, and then we'll get into the collective message. And then following after that, we'll get into our Prosperity Bowl ritual. So we're gonna do that. Thank you, Christina. Hello, greetings. All right, everybody, let's tap in. Let's get started. Let me see where I'm at. Where does it start? The first fairy I see is Monica. Second, Brianna. Third, Mahogany. And Love Goddess. But you guys got to be on the live. So if I called your name, please leave your one question or your one topic. You're a Cancer, cool with Taurians. Yeah, like cancers. I never really had any problem with cancers, I don't think. Okay. My grandmother's a Cancer. And one of my cousins is a Cancer. Like, I don't really know too many cancers like that. Or experience too many of them. Okay, so Brianna, your question I see, and then Monica, I see your question. So, Brianna, what might be coming to you in this month of May? What might be coming to you in the month of May? Let's clear the energies. What might be coming in the month of May for Brianna? You have the 9 of Pentacles. Beautiful. I feel like greater stability, like in your outer worlds. So, like beautiful things. It could be like you're at a comfortable space this month. I do feel like you're going to be taking care of yourself. I feel like you'll feel more grounded within yourself, just internally, your own energy. Thank you. Thank you, sis. You're also, like I said, like financially, material wise, like there is there's a comfortability that you feel. You might invest more in taking care of yourself, and that could be like on a material level, material sense, like finally, like maybe a hard work paying off thing, like, oh, now I can treat myself, maybe treat your children to some things that you've always wanted to, or that you've been kind of waiting to do. um but I feel like this is a big energy of like self care and a big energy of giving love back to yourself in a celebratory way, or like treating yourself to some things. Like it doesn't feel like a guilt energy, like, oh, I shouldn't, or I can't right now. It feels more so like, no, I earned this, I deserve this. Or it's just like, if it's not all like on a material level, like where you're like, I deserve this, I deserve that, it's more so of internal things like my peace of mind. I deserve this. I deserve to feel love and joy. I deserve people around me that truly support me and such and so forth. Like I'm getting, um, like you're at a good place within yourself this month. Like you will be in a space of healing, but like where you're actually implementing that healing in a way of taking your power back more so, and feeling grounded in that, feeling comfortable in that, feeling confident in that energy. Okay. Beautiful. Okay. I'll shade to that. All right. I hope that resonates, and may that message, be a blessing, that it actually, turns out in a way that is supportive of what's best for you, what's healing for you, what feels good, that deserving energy. Yeah, you're welcome. All right, Miss Monica, you want a general energy read? Yeah, my maternal grandmother, she is a July Cancer too. So energy read, just energy read for Miss Monica, Divine Spirit. What is the message for Miss Monica? What does she need to know? The Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords. Okay. It's interesting because first I thought this was the Three of Swords, but there's two roses that stand beside that one sword. Um, I feel like this is a energy of uprooting. So it might feel like the truth and the wisdom and the victory have come from the things that maybe you might have felt in the past that were very painful, very challenging, things that may have made you heartbroken in the past. Like there's some sort of you realizing, or you come into a place of kind of like seeing it as a blessing, actually seeing it as a victory, that like these things happened to me, or the fact that I overcame them, how I grew, how I blossomed from these energies. There might even be a realization of like this, getting like a symbol of the rose, how it is revered. It's a flower that can mean many different things. It can represent devotion, it could represent romance, it can represent passion, it could represent beauty, it could represent strength and protection, and finding the beauty in different layers of yourself. And like, even the thorns, the parts of yourself maybe that you feel um might be kind of like challenging or difficult sometimes to deal with, even within yourself, or like other people, like maybe other people might find it challenging, or you would think or assume like, certain parts of me that may be too hard to love. But the truth is like you're seeing the wisdom and kind of finding the victory, and like these painful experiences have helped me um understand my layers, or to embrace my layers, accept my layers. So yeah, I feel like for the most part that this, I don't know if this is a swan. What is this at the top? It's a dove. It's a white dove. So energy of peace, energy of peace, energy of the Holy Spirit could represent that divine feminine essence, like that inner knowing, that divine feminine power within you that um has ascended due to maybe things that looked like heartache, look like things that should have broken you, or maybe at the time it did break you, but it didn't truly break you, just busted you wide open in a good way. It expanded you. Okay, maybe expanded your capacity to love, or like what love really is, or loving yourself really is, you know? All right, so that is your reading, Miss Monica. Yes, you're very welcome, sis. I hope that was helpful, resonated with you, confirmed. Miss Mahogany, insights about your recent new online dating journey. Let me know how that goes. Well, we're gonna tap in. We're gonna see. Let's see what the messages is. Any insights about your recent new online dating journey? Let's see. All right. Thank you, God, for your divine wisdom, truth, and clarity. Does Mahogany need to know any insights? 3 cards are trying to come out for you, but we're going to take what's at the top. So the honorable mentions is the 6 of Cups and the Crone of Wands. The Crone of Wands is like the highest mastered energy in this deck. Instead of a king, it's crones. So you have the Crone of Wands and the 6 of Cups. I feel like you're more wiser, more confident in like your pursuit, maybe more of an energy of knowing how to like tap in and utilize your magnetism in a way that's healthy, in an empowering way where you're not in a place of like just kind of accepting lesser or putting too much of your energy or investing too much. Is a grounded energy. There's a balance. um hey Mars. So hey sis, how are you? Hey Mika, how are you, sis? So you have the Crone of Pentacles. That was the top card for you. So this is your card. It's got the fertility goddess. It's like the goddess that was kind of like that fuller, you know, the fuller breasts, the has the tummy, you know, she's represents fertility and abundance. That mother energy. So I feel like for you, it's like being full of yourself, but not in a like conceited, narcissistic way. Hey. Um, but I feel like for you, it's more so like your dating journey should be kind of embodied, like you, how do I explain this? You embodying the energy of fullness and fertility and abundance and blessing. So I'm hearing that saying like you don't come to a goddess without an offering. So like it doesn't have to be material things only, like, you know, this gold digger energy, like you gotta have this material thing and this X, Y, and Z. But like energetically, what value or substance do you hold like in my space? So like you're dating with more so with the purpose online, and it sometimes, I'm not even gonna lie, but like it's kind of hard to date online nowadays because there's people out there that genuinely do want love, and there's people out there that just want what's easy, you know, whether that's just, you know, the adult intimacy, you know, that, or it's just like I just want something easy where I don't have to put a lot of effort. I want a companion, but I don't really want a divine partnership. You know what I mean? I feel like there's a mixture of energies and purposes and reasons with dating online. And I feel like the more you date with purpose, the more you'll be able to eliminate what's not for you. And Spirit is saying that it's going to be more of an energy of like, this ain't for me, than it is like, okay, this is something to see. And not to get discouraged by that, but kind of use it as a template for you to trust yourself more, for you to honor yourself, when it comes to your walk in your journey of self-love and self-worth, and like seeing who's willing and really worthy of your time, you know what I mean? And not to mince yourself, not to cloak or diminish or even like downplay yourself, because you don't have to do all that. It's like they have to rise to the occasion to get to you. Again, you don't come to a goddess without an offering, you know what I mean? Like that's what I'm getting. Thank you, sis. But yeah, that's what I'm seeing for you, Miss Mahogany. Much love to you, sis. Thank you for the birthday donation too, by the way. All right, Miss Love Goddess. let's tap into your current energy for May, and then we'll get into the collective read. So that was my fairies, my first 5 fairies, and then we're going to get into the collective read. You're very welcome, sis. My pleasure. All right, Miss Love Goddess, what is your current energy for May? What is the energy for May for Love Goddess? Let's see. 9 of Swords. And it looks like it's like a smoky quartz or black tourmaline type of stone. It does have like looks like a blood moon. You're clearing out the month of May, like um so energies are not sticking to you or people dumping on you or projecting energy onto you. You might be called to wear some sort of stone that does protect your energy, just kind of shields your aura from that. Even as you're healing your own energy, as you're dispelling and releasing and letting go, because I feel like you are going to be doing a lot of healing energy, and it may not be like you actively like consciously making the effort, but it's like it's happening without your effort. It's happening just on a spiritual level, and it might be in ways that you don't understand. So like to not get triggered so much, or I shouldn't say not get triggered, but not be affected so much by the process and like the outer projections from other people that may be a catalyst or mirror to your healing, and or like you assisting and triggering them as a catalyst for their healing, and not to allow those energies to stick to you or project onto you, if that makes sense. um, Thank you, sis. I appreciate that. Um, but definitely I feel like you're closing out a lot of major energies at this time, and a lot of things are going to come up in a way that it can be triggering. I'm going to be honest, but it's for the greater good, and it's as long as you understand that this is a process, this is just what's happening, and not to get affected by it. And I really feel an emphasis on you shielding and protecting your energy, doing energy clearings, whether that's through meditation, whether that's spiritual baths, whether that's smudging yourself before you leave the house, smudging your space, carrying something on you, to protect and shield that energy off of you, and ground yourself daily, especially if you have a lot of people around you, or there's a lot of energies that are um showing you what it is that you're needing to release, or people maybe that you need to release. So yeah, that's what I'm seeing for the month of May. And it doesn't mean that it's not going to be beautiful light energies. The Empress is at the bottom of the deck. I just want to mention that. So this is like for your peace. This is for your joy. This is for like you feeling better about yourself having to do this. Yeah, I've already finished the fairy reads. I just got to my 5. Thank you, sis. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. Let's go ahead and get started. I hope that resonates, Love Goddess, or is helpful, gives you a heads up. So let's go ahead and get into the collective read now. I need to see what the timestamp is, and then we'll get into read. Okay. All right. So let's get into our Ghetto Fairy Friday collective read for tonight. So like I said, this is going to tap into the different aspects of like Taurus energy, or just like to tap into that energy for yourselves and like what that looks like. So I'll be tapping into different aspects. So it could be like finances, self-love, love energy, all of that. So first we're going to tap into what divine blessing is being placed upon you right now. Okay. So this is your crowned energy. Okay. The energy of your sovereignty. Yeah, I just did your reading. That was the last one that I just did with the 9 of Swords and the Empress at the bottom. Um, All right, so your divine blessing that is placed on you right now, what is your divine blessing as a collective? The Ace of Pentacles. Oh, ooh. And it's got the snakes too. That's so divinely timed because we're in the year of the snake right now, the Chinese zodiac sign of the snake. Um, so yeah, what is crowning you right now? It is new opportunities and new blessings, but you have to be receptive to it. So the aces for me, they can represent new beginnings and things like that, but they're also gifts from the divine. And it's up to us to receive that. You know, like on the traditional rider waits, right? You see the hand of the divine like handing you the ace of whatever the ace is, right? So in this case, the pentacle is being handed by the divine. So it's like, will you take it? Will you receive it? Because there's many opportunities, not just one, but it's like, what are you going to do with this opportunity that I'm giving you, that I'm blessing you with? So the energy that you're being the energy of the blessing that's being placed upon you right now is these divine opportunities. And it's like spirit asking you, your divine team asking you, will you receive these? It could come in the form of an idea. It could come in the form of you kind of pushing a door open for yourself that is right in front of you. Like spirit has placed you there, has walked you towards it. And it's like, okay, there is nothing locked. There's nothing that you got to figure out where the key is. It's just for you to turn that door open and walk through it, or for you to plant the seed and continue to water it until it grows. So this is the beginning of something. This is a fresh start type of vibe, something for you to build upon, and how you cultivate it is everything. So this is starter energy. Let me clarify with some of the tarot. I'm gonna use the Oshun one for this because we haven't really got into the romantic energy yet, because we are gonna tap into that as well. But let's tap into with the Black Moon Lilith and the Oshun Oracle just to see. Ooh, wouldn't be none of my readings if a card didn't fall on the floor. So you have Black Moon Lilith in Taurus. What? You are worthy. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. That is so divinely like, yes, divine spirit come through. This is like a message like spirit, like when someone's comforting you and rubbing your shoulders, like this is like spirit saying like I got you, like you're good, you're protected. So with the energy Black Moon being in Lilith, it's like you're worthy of that. And maybe this is a challenge that you've had for a season or for a chapter. Maybe you have challenging placements with Taurus, where it's like a lot of healing, a lot of lessons around stability, around worthiness, things like that. Where spirit is telling you like the energy, the blessing is that it's coming from you knowing your worth, knowing that you are deserving. Let's tap into the Oshun essence and energy, see what Mama Oshun's message is in regards to the blessing that you're being crowned with right now during this season. Oshun of the dust, cycles, transition, and closure. Okay. So this aspect of Oshun is telling you like you're clearing out. The blessing is that whatever you're needing to clear out, don't look at it as anything as a negative or like this heavy chore, like, oh, why is this happening to me? Why I got to go through this? Why can't it just be so easy? Or why do I have to walk away from this or close this out? Or why is this leaving my life? Why is this person doing this? Why are they leaving my life? But look at it as you clearing out the dust. Okay. This is the dawn. This is the energy of you clearing out a cycle, and you're in between a state of closing out into moving into a new energy. Some of you guys may have a lot of Libra energy in your chart too. Um, but this is closure. This is what you need. Some of you guys may even have Sagittarius in your seventh house, maybe. Um, maybe. Or you could even have Libra in your ninth house, potentially. But yeah, this is like that year of like let's clear this shit out. It's done. It's almost like it's like if you have dust in your house, right? You're just clearing it out. Like it's nothing. It's like it's just some residue. Get rid of it. Just clear that shit out. Because there is new energy coming in. So that's the beauty of this blessing, these opportunities. And ironically, you also have another ace at the bottom of the deck. You have the Ace of Wands. Yeah, so this could be like creative starts, creative new beginnings, or like energy that you are finally like putting the groundwork into something that you've already had the creative nudge towards, or felt like a passion, or you felt like um a fire lit under you to get something done or to make something happen or make these changes. The opportunity is right there for you. Hey, Ro. I am well. I hope you're well too, sis. Happy Venus Day. All right. So next we're going to tap into like what's grounding you and asking for more love and care. So what is the that grounded energy that's requiring more love, more care, more nurturing from you? Let's tap in. Let's see. As a collective divine spirit, what is the energy that is grounding us at this time, that is requiring for us for more love and more care? What does that energy look like? The sovereign. The sovereign is the emperor in this deck. Okay. Right now, it's not to say to stop being there for others, not to show up and all of that. It's not saying that, but it's like more of this, it's more of an independence maybe in relations to like the care and the love that you give yourself. Like you are sovereign when you learn to care and love yourself in ways that maybe you felt like you had to put a cap on it. You had to put it on the back burner. You had like where you might have gaslit yourself into thinking it was selfish, or allowed others to plant that seed that you were being selfish when it came to you saying um yes, or saying no, or not right now, or I cannot do that right. It's like, or I need to do this for myself. I need to show up for myself. And instead of feeling like a guilt, because that's conditioning that a lot of people have sometimes, is like self-care is like, how dare you, you're being selfish. Um, and the truth is like, just like you might expect other people to show up for you and they cannot and they don't. It's like other people also have to accept as well that you can't always show up for them as well. It's like people have other things that they need to tend to. People have a right to have boundaries, to have, you know the right to have their space, you know what I mean, or to not be challenge, or challenge their limits, challenge their energy capacity to show up and to be there or to do things. So you take your power back. You ground your energy when you give more love and care to yourself, if that makes sense. This is what's going to ground you. Um, and it's like an energy of transmutation. It's like you're flipping the script. You're burning an old script or template, or an old like kind of this map or this story that was written for you by other people's expectations, and you're burning that into ashes so you can transmute and create a story that is truly meant for you, or just walking and stepping into the true story that's already mapped for you through and by your own soul, not somebody else's projection, not someone else's expectations of you that are not in alignment. Some things can be in alignment. Some people may see your greatness, speak into it, but ultimately, your journey, the true vision of your journey comes from within, in your relation with the divine source, God. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's what I'm getting from that. Let's clarify this with the Lilith Oracle and the Oshun Oracle. Oh, okay. Black Moon, Lilith, and Cancer. Honor your emotions. These cards is on point. They're on point. Cancer is energy of deep healing for me. Like sometimes I associate Cancer with like the deep roots of things, like especially when it comes to the home and family. It is the mother sign, the energy of that mother, the nurture, home, family, relations, familiarity, too. um the I never can pronounce this asteroid, but I believe it's whatever, Chiron. The first time that it was discovered, it was discovered in the sign of Cancer. So when I think of Cancer energy, I do think of deep healing too. So yeah, you're being called to honor your emotions. Like it's okay to feel what you feel. And like sometimes like we don't want to feel certain emotions. We might welcome in some emotions or certain emotions that are familiar or we feel is like comfortable. And there's some emotions that we will not welcome or we'll feel shame to sit with them, to dissect them, or even explore them, or just say, yeah, this is how I feel, or I'm going to move on what I feel because it might be shame. Like, oh, you're selfish if you say you're tired and you just can't show up for something. Or you're selfish if you say, simply, I just don't feel it. I don't want to do that. Or that's just not where my energy is. Like it's like a conditioning, you know what I mean? To be like, oh no, that's wrong. You can't do that. Oh, you shouldn't feel that. You shouldn't be angry. You shouldn't feel this or that. It's like as long as you're not allowing the negative energy or emotions to have governance over you, your mind and your intentions and your will, but you're more so just sitting with them, you're reflecting, you're discerning them, understanding where to place them. That's a difference. You know what I mean? Like it's not to just say, oh, just guard. If you have an emotion of jealousy or something, just be like, oh, that's negative. Oh, I'm not gonna feel that. It's like, well, why am I feeling this? Like, go deep into it. You know what I mean? Or just you may not even have to go that deep into it. It's just like asking yourself, why do you feel that? And you get the answer. It's like, okay, well, I know that that's not something that's an energy that's misplaced. Let me redirect it. Like you have a choice to do that. You know what I mean? You have a right to do that. Oh, Oshun. Okay. Oshun of soft power. A few cards flew out on the floor, so I'm gonna read them to you. You have Oshun of soft power. It says influence, openness, emotional intelligence. That's all we've been talking about. Just here and now. I don't know if y'all can see that because the lighting is pink, so it's a little hard to see. Um, you have Oshun of shame and regret. It says guilt, remorse, and self-loathing. This is the energy that you're working through this. You're grounding yourself in this energy in a way of, like I said, more so of the reflection. Oshun's honeypot, sacred pleasure, sensuality, self-love. Your self-love also, and like you grounding and giving more care and love to this energy, is being okay with being present and what feels right to you. Like sometimes I struggle with this from time to time, and I noticed it. Is like I don't, even when I have time to myself, I don't know how to just relax and just be. Like I have to have tasks. I noticed that about myself. And I feel like that's like an anxiousness. It's like a almost like you don't know how to just be present and welcome in just stillness, welcome in like the not having to do things and just take pleasure in that and just being, or something that's relaxing to you and not always having to stimulate yourself with tasks, find something, because I'm a problem solver too. I like to solve problems. So like it's almost like a relief for me if I'm able to, like, oh, I solved that. Oh, I did that. Now what's next? That's kind of like, I don't know if y'all resonate with that too, but like I feel the energy of like just be present and be okay with what gives you pleasure, or not be like, oh, that's negative if I want to sit down and watch TV all day or watch a few movies and binge watch. As long as it's not anything harmful to your energy, but like some things it's okay. Like, oh, you know, I feel bad if I want to have like, I want to sit and buy some junk food. Like, if you're not eating junk food all the time, and it might just be a night where you wanna sit and watch movies and, like, eat fucking cookies and ice cream and popcorn and shit, I don't know. Like, it's okay, you know what I mean? It's okay, or, like, I'm not telling people that you should just go out and just have sex with random people, but, like, if something's safe and it feels like it resonates with you and, like, the person and the energy is, like, if that's what you feel like you need or something, like, why, I don't know. I gotta be careful and tread lightly with that message, but, like, I feel it's some sort of guilt and shame around, like, you wanting to do what feels good to you, or you just wanting maybe to not be overstimulated by life and situations, like take a day off from work or something like that. If you have the ability to do that, you have the grace to do that, then don't feel guilty for treating yourself or taking care of yourself, you know? Oshun overflows, generosity, wealth, auspicious blessings. So more love and care is like you give back as is. I feel like you give back a lot of energy. You're very generous with your time and your energy. So it's like, why shouldn't you be able to experience that same generosity and love? And if it's, I wouldn't say to expect it from other people, but more so I'm getting like, be receptive to receiving that, and even being okay and confident and comfortable enough to give yourself the generosity and blessings back to you. You know what I mean? To yourself. Okay. I'm glad you're doing well, sis. All right. So, ooh, this card, the Witch of Cups, was at the bottom. Um, so for you, what intentions have you already planted, knowingly or unknowingly? Like, what things have you planted? Like, what is the energies that you've been investing in? What's the energies that you've been investing in, collective, knowingly or unknowingly? The Eight of Swords. I want to clarify that. Two of Pentacles. The Nine of Wands. It's like you've been, and then the Moon at the bottom of the deck with Hathor. Hathor is kind of a representation of Taurian energy too sometimes, or Venusian energy, Venusian, however you want to say, Venus energy. Um, but yeah, with the Eight of Swords, and it has more serpent energy. So this year is like the year of transformation and breakthrough for you. You have the Two of Pentacles. You also have the Nine of Wands. Something is coming to a completion, and it's like you've been going back and forth maybe about something that you want to invest, like you've planted the seed, but in some kind of way there is an energy of doubt or insecurity or wavering back and forth with whatever this energy is. um I don't know if you feel like there's not enough space or room for your energy, or you're wrestling with different parts of yourself, places or energies that you've experienced, um maybe spaces of comfortability, or like the illusion of comfortability was familiar. um but there's an energy of you outgrowing that, and you being called to finally go all in with something that you've planted the seeds with or in. I feel like you know what this energy is. This is something that you've planted knowingly, but there is like a little bit of you being kind of like worried about it, feeling kind of sketchy, not feeling like it's going to be something that is successful. I feel like all it requires is a push. It requires you to not give up because you're very close to a breakthrough. Like, if you throw in the towel right now, it's like it would be a disappointment because you're so close to a breakthrough that you don't realize it. And maybe on the surface, it doesn't seem like you're victorious or that you're moving towards an energy of a breakthrough or a blessing or a victory, but you are. Um, and it might be this way for a reason, that you're not meant to see all of the things that are going to take place as a blessing, because it's like this is a period of in I was about to say introspection, but my lips is like saying inspired. But it is a period of just like reflection and clearing out, and then saying, okay, I'm ready now. Let's push through this, and not being afraid. And not, because it is going to be like your legs are going to feel a little bit wobbly because, for one, the nervousness, the fear, but also just maybe being energetically tired, like wanting to be like, I don't even know if I could take another step, but it's like you're so close. You know, that feeling of like, I don't know, I'm just seeing like two different visions. So, like, if you've ever had a feeling of like you carrying something that's heavy and you're close to getting to the door, and it's like you get really anxious at that last minute to where it's almost like, oh, I don't want to take another step, but it's like I'm almost at the door, or you're carrying groceries where you're like, I got to drop this shit. I can't carry this shit. It's too heavy. It's like something where it's like you could see the finish line or you sense it, but it's like it starts to get more intense the closer you get. And it's the same thing with like birthing pains. You're so close to giving birth, the more painful it gets. When you're right at the cusp of giving birth to a child, it's like the pain, the pressure is more intense towards the end. And so that is like your energetic message to keep pushing. That is your sign you're close to that breakthrough. Like, the more it feels intense, the closer you are to your breakthrough. Something's got to pop, something got to burst, like, for a breakthrough to happen, right? All right, let's clarify the oracles, the seeds. What is the energy that's being planted? The moon, intuition and emotional healing. And there's a pregnant woman. Y'all, this message tonight is like super on point. Okay, so you are your midwife, or you have, I mean, I wouldn't doubt that you got support. You have support here in this physical plane, and also on the other side, the spiritual energies that you can't see, but they're there, that you called on, or that you have faith, you trust, you are devoted, they're devoted to you. They're helping you. There's a midwife energy of helping you to push this energy out. Your higher self is your soul mirror, your reflection of your inner self is also your midwife and pushing you through, helping you, assisting you, supporting you. I would drop at least one. It never fails. I tell you. Oshun the warrior, personal power, assertiveness, and leadership. And there's another yin and yang symbol. Some of you guys, this is like you integrating into, like, getting locked in, like, your parts of yourself. Like, there might be parts of you that you accept and other parts that you don't, but it's like once you integrate those parts of yourself that have been separated for so long, you're locked in. Your energy, your power is turned on, like, full mode, full blast. The Oshun the scandalous, brazen, audacious, and fearless. You got to be okay. You got to have the audacity, as they say. You have to have that audacity to just be you, and be okay with the fact that people are not going to always clap and celebrate the boldness, celebrate you celebrating yourself, you taking the risk and taking the chances and just being you. Not everybody is okay and comfortable with people being in their full expression or their full authenticity. And of course, like, there's going to be that side, but the other side is also, there will be those that see it, that celebrate it, that clap, that are inspired, that celebrate you, that you also awaken. So by you being in that energy of, like, you know what, like, fearlessness is not being like you don't have fear, but it's like you don't allow, it's like you have less of the fear. So it's not to say that, oh, as a human you're never going to have fear, or you're never going to take action, even though there's an ounce of fear there, or a level of fear there, or a pinch of fear there, but there's a less of the fear. It's a lesser energy of that. It's not a dominant energy that's taking place. The more you rise to the occasion, you actually are fearless, you know. Um, just being yourself. Again, having the audacity is what is needed too. So yeah, and that is the energy that you're grounding. You're grounding, you're setting the intention of like deep down, like everything that you've done thus far in your journey is like you saying, I want to be free from the shackles of this identity, or how I need to be this, or I need to cloak this, or I'm not enough, or this didn't work out before, and freeing yourself of all of that. You might even have literally set an intention before to like be in a place where you fully embrace you. You fully walk in your identity, your divine identity. All right. So what is blooming in your life right now? What is the energies that are blossoming and blooming right now? Okay. You have the Judgment card. And this looks like another fertility energy, fertility goddess, and there's more serpent energies. The Maiden of Wands also has a serpent behind her. This does feel like a Kundalini fire energy, some sort of like awakening, you coming online within yourself. But the energy that's blossoming for you is, I feel, this breakthrough of you giving birth to like your great potential. It may not be like your fullest or greatest that you could, but it's like at this point in the game in your journey, this is like that next level of fullness and you tapping into your power. And I feel like it's something that you've set the tone for. You've put the energy out there. Um, you took the action, or you've set the intention. You've asked for it. You prayed for this alignment, and it's happening. So right now, it's just like you're at that point where it's very close to the new chapter, the new energies, the new you that you're walking into, or the you that was always there. You just are finally clicking in place with it. So you are going to have moments where you feel challenged, but it's like the rising to the occasion is like where you see the breakthrough, because it's like, if I wouldn't have walked through this, if I wouldn't have realized this, if I wouldn't have encourage myself or allow others to encourage me, I wouldn't have been able to see the results of it. So it's like you see the benefit in it. So what you're blooming into is like a very unapologetically you. Like there's still things like you might be a confident person, where you're able to celebrate parts of yourself, but it's like the real confidence comes from, I believe I was saying this to someone else last night in a reading, that the real confidence comes when no one claps for you, or when the pressure cooker is turned on, where it's like, this is a part of me that I'm becoming more aware of, a part of me that I'm not really fully confident in. How is this going to look? How is this going to be accepted? Am I ready to accept this part of myself? But when you walk into that, it's like you see the blessing and why you should have. Um, I hope that makes sense. Let's see. Whatever you're birthing is going to come with pearls of wisdom. It's like it's precious, like a ruby. I don't know, maybe look into the spiritual properties and um of rubies. That might be significant. I think ruby is actually Cancer's, or maybe the not Cancer, but maybe the month of July people's birthstone, I believe. Because we tapping into Cancer energy a lot too. Within a Taurus reading, but it's coming out. So you have the Black Moon in Leo. Allow your light to shine. Most definitely. So this is what you're blooming into. You being that like unapologetic person. I have to read the bottom of the deck because it's standing out to me. Uranus, it says spark of genius and ascension. Okay. Some of you might have like a Uranus placement that is significant, that might speak to like this part that you're embracing of yourself. It's something that is very inspiring. Okay. Um that's helping you to ascend to the next level. It's like you need to tap into that part of yourself that's kind of like the taboo, that maybe not the fully understood, but it is far beyond, like, it's a trailblazer energy, it's a creator energy, it's the mad scientist that can mix different components together, different aspects and elements of your journey, of your personality, of your passions, of your creativity, your talent, your gifts, putting that all into one. And like, they're branches. You don't have to just pick and choose. It's a branch and extension of who you are. Does that make sense? I hope I'm making sense. Let's see. Faces of Oshun. Let's see what message wants to come through. The energy. What is the energy blooming in this collective's life right now? Oshun of perpetual beauty, inner beauty, self-love, and transformation. Beautiful card. Yeah, so what's blossoming in your life as well is like your ability to see yourself, like deeply see yourself and embrace it and be okay with the fact that you are transforming. Some people are comfortable with who they've been, even if it's truly uncomfortability, like you know that it's not you, it doesn't resonate, but it's like, well, this is the part of me that I've grown accustomed to, or what people know me to be, or people may be comfortable with keeping you in, in this box of who they understand you to be or knew you to be. And it's okay for you to grow and to change and transform and shift and not resonate with certain things, not operate the same way, not want the same things anymore. It's okay. Or to desire something different, something new for yourself. Okay. So, what needs to be cleared out in order for you to flourish? Like, what needs to be cleared out? Because we kind of tapped into it a little bit, but like, let's see. What needs to be cleared out in order for the collective that is meant to resonate with this message flourish? Like, what is needing to be cleared out, spirit? Our divine team, our ancestors, like, what is it that needs to be cleared out? The Three of Cups. Oh, I heard that to like, it's a scripture, a biblical scripture that says, paraphrasing, but not to cast your pearls on swine. Swine is known as, in um, the Bible's description of a swine or pig is typically associated with uncleanness or an unclean spirit. So, like, you can't pour your wisdom into people that have not really done that level of work that you're trying to like pour in. Like, sometimes you can kind of spark somebody that they're ready to an extent, but they may not be ready to fully go into the depth of what you're bringing. So it's like some people, you kind of do have to feed them slowly, like a baby. You can't feed babies table food right out the womb. Like, you gotta take it slow, like what they can handle. And there's just some energies that are truly unclean that they're never going to hear you. So you're speaking to a wall, because it's like, I hate to bring this subject into it, but like when you're dealing with people that are demonically influenced, that are governed by demonic influence and energy, um whether they're fully taken over by that energy or they're just allowing it to feed off of them, it's very hard to comprehend things when you're in that. It is a blessing when like you can speak over a person and that spirit will run and flee, and that person can be freed up of that spirit to receive what the message is, receive that healing, receive um that deliverance through your words or through your energy or your love, your healing. Because I know there's been times where I've straddled and like been straddled by demonic energy and influence, in a sense of like I couldn't hear what people were telling me that was meant to actually help break me free, because I was so oppressed by a certain dark energy. Like, one of the demonic energies that I had on me was energy of not wanting to live, you know, wanting to not be here or play with the idea of that so much. Like it became a thing that I considered a little too much often. And y'all know like what that term is. I'm not gonna say it because I don't, YouTube. But like that feeling of not wanting to be here anymore and like contemplating that so much and thinking about it and like different ways you can do it and what would life be like if I wasn't here and like, okay, this person gonna be taken care of and how is that gonna work and like really thinking about it. And I knew that that energy was not natural to me. It was not coming from a place that like, it just wasn't right. And it took one of my friends to say like, when I was on FaceTime with you, I saw some sort of dark energy on you. Um, and it's like when you talk like that, it doesn't sound like you. So when I was in those states, when people would be speaking positive things and like trying to be, encouraging, it I felt like, yeah, right, whatever. I couldn't accept it. It really is a spiritual oppressive energy. So when you're trying to speak to people that have influences of some level of demonic influence or energy, they're not going to hear it no matter what you say. And that sometimes you get frustrated because it's like, why won't you see it? Or people are so like programmed by certain dogmas that they can't free themselves of that story that they've told themselves, or that pattern, or what they've known all their life, or their experiences, right? So the energy that you need to release in order to flourish is like, be mindful of the energies that you're pouring into, because there's some people that I feel like, like if you really tap into like the truth and you see it like within yourself, like, okay, this is a waste of energy. You're beating a dead horse. Some people are just not wanting to change, and it's not meant for you to change people. They have to want to change themselves. And sometimes, yeah, you'll be a spark of inspiration for someone. And maybe later down the line, if not right in that moment, that they'll take heed, maybe later. But it's not your job to constantly pour in and pour in, especially unclean spirits. And it's like, oh, well, you would think because I'm pouring in something clean, something pure, something loving, that it would clean the uncleanliness. No, it's like, how do I explain this? Let's say, for instance, like, you have bleach, but you're trying to clean up a stain out of a carpet that requires another chemical to lift it, right? And you're just scrubbing and scrubbing and scrubbing and scrubbing it, and it's not really getting that stain out. So it's like, it's stubborn, right? So it requires a certain something else to get that out. And it's like, whatever you have, it may not be what that energy or that person needs or that situation needs. It might require something a little bit deeper, and it might require something that they have to seek out for themselves. So like, people could be the thing that blocks you from flourishing. The 7 of Pentacles, with this cow, so more Hathor energy in a way, and maybe a bit of the Taurus energy. 7 of Pentacles is actually a Taurus placement card. um I'm not sure what that planet is. It looks like Saturn. I think that is Saturn. So some of you guys might have placements in like a Taurus Saturn or something. I don't know if that's possible. Yeah. Yeah, some of you guys might have a Saturn Taurus. I'd be thinking of like Pluto, because I believe Pluto's are generations. So a lot of people like born under a certain year or time would have the same placement in Pluto. But Saturn, you could have a Saturn in Taurus, or Taurus and Saturn, whatever. Um, yeah, because I feel like you're someone that's very honorable and very patient and all about your people, all about your community, your tribe. And you can try to help other people flourish, and in a way, at what cost is it taking from you? And if you don't have Saturn in Taurus, or you're not aware of what's in your chart, maybe look up what the placement means and see if that resonates with something that you are experiencing. Okay, so what do you need to let go of in order to flourish? What do you need to let go in order to flourish? Uranus again. Spark and genius and ascension. Okay. Something that is like, you're not here to play small and mediocre. And at the bottom of the deck, you have the Leo, Black Moon and Lilith, or Black Moon, Lilith, and Leo again with allow your light to shine is at the bottom of the deck now. So, like things that diminish, people, places, and things that diminish your light. It's like that's not for you. You're not going to flourish in spaces that are not able to care for you the way that you need. It's almost like, let's say for instance, like a plant that needs a certain type of environment to thrive and to grow and to flourish, and you're trying to put this plant that is supposed to be in a different type of climate that requires a different level of care. You're trying to put an indoor plant outside or bring an outdoor plant on the inside, and it's like there's certain places that you're meant to grow and flourish and thrive, certain environments and spaces. So trying to make yourself be like, I'm going to place myself here, or why where I'm at right now am I not receiving the flourishing of the growth or the grace, the nurturing, the love, whatever, the attention, the recognition? It's because that is not the place for you. It's understanding that there is a place that is meant for you, even if you have yet to come across that. Whether you've never experienced that, it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. That doesn't mean that you're not worthy because you haven't came across that type of environment, energy, people, places, or things. It just means you haven't found it yet. And sometimes it requires you just understanding, like, okay, where I'm at, where I've tried to plant and root myself, is not where I'm supposed to be. Or the season is up for where I'm trying to plant my seeds. This isn't the season for that, or this is not the place for that, or this is just not the environment for me, where I'm trying to put my seeds in a soil that the soil is tainted. The soil is it's got something in it that is not going to allow me to grow. So I need to plant myself elsewhere. I need to root myself in places that are going to support my growth. That's kind of what I'm getting from this. Let's see what the Oshun message is. Oshun of envy. Now the message getting now, okay, now we're getting somewhere in spirit. Now I see now. Some people are just like, they cannot be happy for other people, and it's like you want everybody to come with you. You want everybody to see the vision. You want it, you want that support. And it's simply, again, like when you're in a space where people are not happy with themselves, it's hard for them to celebrate other people. Even if a person is down on themselves, when they have love for the people that's around them, they genuinely want to see them win. The energy's different, right? It's like I can acknowledge that I'm not in a good space and I wish there was better for me, but it's like I'm inspired, or I'm happy that my family or my friends are doing well, or people that I care about is doing well out there. It inspires you rather than going, oh, you know, jealousy, self-doubt, and inadequacy. So the energy that's also not allowing you to flourish, and to be honest, like only take it if it resonates, and you're not going to heal if you can't be real with yourself. So if you know that that's true for you, that you have a tendency to be jealous or envious or compare, that's blocking your blessings. Because again, where you're meant to thrive, it is a different environment. It may not be where someone else is meant to thrive or in the same way. It's like you have a unique energy that's meant for you, your place in the world that is uniquely meant for you. And it just because someone else is flourishing and winning, it doesn't take away from you, and it doesn't mean that you're not, or that you will never flourish, right? It doesn't mean that. And again, other people, it could be people projecting onto you their own insecurities, their own self-doubts and comparisons onto you. So you have to, discern, like, because it hurts sometimes when you feel like, oh, well, why am I not being celebrated? Why am I not being supported? If people feel like they don't have anything in it, and this is such a weird, kooky, just fucked up energy, excuse my language, but like for real, like I know this is about certain people, like they can celebrate influencers wins and like celebrities, but when it comes to somebody that's close to you, some people, not all people are like this, but some people, they will not clap for you, they will not support you. It's almost like they can celebrate that energy in another person, but as long as it's you, because it's almost like when it's too close to home. There's a woman on Instagram. I love her posts. I love her reposts and I love her own posts and tweets. Um the Oracle, like it has two E's. She had a post, it was a while back. I'm paraphrasing the post, but it was basically saying like a person could admire you from afar and like look up to you and be inspired by you and all that. But once they get to know you on a close level, like on a personal level, the energy starts to shift and it becomes weird because now you're not this fantasy of this pedestal that they can uphold. It's like you're a real person, and then the comparisons, the funny energy starts coming in. um, and that's weird. Like the people closest to you sometimes could be the ones that have the most envy and jealousy, but they like the idea of a person that is like unobtainable, unreachable in their eyes. Like, oh, I can celebrate the influencers or the people that have 100,000 views, but it's like someone that's in my own hometown or someone I know personally, or is my family member, or is my friend or coworker. I will not clap for them, even though they have the same type of mission or creativity or talent or whatever. They just won't celebrate you. And it's not a reflection of something that you're doing wrong or you're not doing enough of, but it's more so of just seeing the character flaw that some people have and allow themselves to stay in and be stuck in and governed by. It's not your fault, it has nothing to do with you. It's like that saying, like, as long as it's not you, like they'll celebrate it in another energy, another form, or someone else, but as long as it's you, they're not going to celebrate it. And you can take it personal as a sense, but like take it as like you trigger something within a person that's already in existence that they need to heal anyway. You know what I'm saying? Um, what gift of the past, like a hidden blessing from a past experience? Like what is a blessing? Why is this card face? Oh, Three Cups. Okay, what is this past experience? It's actually a blessing. Okay. Past experience. The Ten of Pentacles. It has the symbol of Venus. Okay. So the past experience, let me clarify this. Let me pull another card, the Five of Cups. Okay. Who? The Three of Wands. It could be someone sent me, thank you for the birthday wishes, whoever that was. Thank you. Um, donation tip, thank you. Whoever identifies, because this energy is very layered. There might be a particular experience where you shared like information or something that you wanted to share, like to, yeah, the back of my head is like tingling, like literally back here. I don't think I've ever felt that before. I felt chills like up here on my crown like that, but I've never felt it in the back of my head. That's weird. So it's like maybe when you felt like you were growing into consciousness, like awakening, or like you've learned something and you wanted to share that. And it might have been shunned by people closest to you. And it's like, it sucks because you might have felt discouraged, like, damn, like people around me is really stuck, or people around me is really like, really sleep. You know that saying, like people woke, but everybody else is asleep type feel. Like, I don't know. Like it could have been like when you came into awareness of like kind of your start of your spiritual journey or something like that, or just like a realization that you're on a spiritual journey, like starting to see certain things, right? And wanting people to partake in that, be a part of it, see what you see, be on the journey and the path with you. And it's 11 views and 11 likes right now. That's interesting. So 1111, yeah, an awakening energy, something that activated. And when you shared this, and I feel like you shared it almost like in a way that was like you were sad for like what you discovered and what you realized. Um Yeah. And they were just like, I don't see it. I don't, or you're crazy or you're tripping. It's like some sort of rejection and a disappointment in that. But it redirected you into wanting more. So like this unicorn energy, like this mystic energy in you was activated. Something that came into alignment, not full circle. It came into alignment with this triangle. It's like mind, body, and soul. Something clicked in for you, and it's like you anticipated more. Yeah, I feel you, sis. Like sometimes, like your gift can be what you feel like is a curse sometimes because let's be transparent real quick for a second. I always have to do that because it's like a real energy. It's a real thing. Sometimes, like when I share messages on YouTube, I feel like people, you can tell, like, especially when you're going live, you can see the disengagement when you start touching on certain topics. And it's like, damn, like, how would you think that this is a bad thing to like, because it's messages that are meant to be encouraging and like to help break people out of things, but it's like not everybody is ready to digest that. It might be too much, it might be too heavy, or it's like I don't want to see that about myself, I don't want to acknowledge that, or it's just simply again like people don't see, that it's like I only want to hear what makes me feel comfortable. I only want to hear about love if it suits me in a way where I don't have to do the work, where it'll just come to me, or where someone's hyper fixated on me, or you're making it okay for me to hyper fixate on someone else. But when it comes to shedding a light, when it comes to breaking patterns, bitch, I don't want to hear this. Let me click off. Let me go watch a pick a card that is, only focusing on, oh, how somebody feels about me and when they're going to come back and what they're going to do about these feelings. That, not saying that that's bad necessarily, but if that's the only level that you're reaching, then that's a problem. If it's not bringing you to a solution, if it's keeping you in a pattern, it's keeping you stuck, which there was a time where that was the level that I was at and could show up and give. And then the points where it's like, no, beyond that, now what? What's the significance of that? Why does this matter? Is it worth the wait? Is it something that I should even be worried about? Is this a pattern? You know what I mean? So like you could feel like you're wasting your energy, but trust and believe like it will make sense later, if not at the moment, or it's just like who it's for is meant for, and you can't trip off of, like, especially if it's family, because it hurts when, you know, you're sharing things that you feel like will be beneficial. And I'm gonna be honest, like some things that people call conspiracies, sometimes it is depressing to hear, oh, this is what's happening to the food. This is what's happening over here in this country and this and that. Like when you're hearing about these things, it does shake up your world because you lived in this illusion for so long that, oh, this was normal. You didn't know that this was plastic that you're eating. You didn't know if this had a whole bunch of chemicals in it and shit. That this is shit that's banned in other countries, but you're eating it. And this is rotting your teeth and, messing with your baby's development. And this is causing cancer and shit like that. It will go like, damn, it's like it shakes up your foundation, your illusion. So you got to understand that part of it as well. Like, that past experience was not meant to shun you or to make you feel like you're, whatever it is that you're passionate about, or your gifts or your talents or your abilities or your knowledge or your wisdom or your intent was wrong or negative or unworthy. It's just a realignment, a redirection. Again, going back to the other message that we got, where you're planted. And it sucks when it's in your own community, your own hometown, your own family, where you're not always going to be accepted. There might be some family member, it might not be the greater whole. And that's what sucks even more. Is like you want everybody to get it. It's like a Christian that's like, I want all of my family and friends to go to heaven. I want to save as many people on the street as I can. But the truth is that not everybody, and I'm not talking about, the biblical ideology of heaven and hell, but like from a Christian standpoint, that oppressive feeling of, damn, like these people don't want to be saved. I don't want to see my family go to hell. So if you put that in a different perspective of like certain people just want to be stuck, they don't want to shift, they don't want to change, they don't want to do better in their ways. But it's not to say that what you're doing is not going to have an effect positively on at least somebody, So that's what that past experience is meant to teach you. Let's clarify with the oracles. Conjunction, becoming whole again. Okay, this is that yin and yang energy. Some of you guys like identify with the twin flame journeys and experiences and stuff like back in the day, maybe like, um, where because I'm gonna talk about that in my Patreon. We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna do some content around, soul connections and divine counterparts and healings and patterns. But like, you becoming whole is not about what other like outside energy or outside people or humans experiences. The becoming whole within yourself is like sometimes through that energy of rejection, through that energy or feeling rejected at least, or that feeling of experiencing rejection, abandonment, um, that feeling of being an outcast, being misunderstood, that orphan spirit. The blessing in that, because it can feel like a curse, but truthfully, the blessing in that is that it does push you to to seek you out, and also through the spiritual experience to seek God out. Like, okay, what is my purpose? Who am I? Why am I experiencing that? It pushes you to greater questions, it and greater reflection, um and ultimately greater alignment with yourself. That pushback, sometimes that separation, push you out, is actually a blessing. You know how they say rejection is God's protection, because it's pushing you out of a space that you do not belong. Sometimes you are placed in certain environments to do the job that you came to do, and then after that you gotta go. It's like an exterminator that comes in and turns on all the lights and all the roaches start to flee. You spray that bitch, you bomb that bitch, and you leave it and you go. You did your job. That's it. You were meant to turn the light on, clean some shit out, and then boom, you're out. You're not meant to stay in that. You're not meant to stay in that energy. Does that make sense? Thank you, Spirit, for your divine guidance, truth, and clarity. Oshun, the dust, cycles, transition, and closure. Again, you're cleaning out that energy. The dusk, you blowing it out, you clearing it out. But the experience, like again, like how to take, what to take from your past experience as a blessing is that you're ending cycles. You are helping to transition not just yourself, but you are helping somebody. Don't take it as like nothing's happening. It is an effect on this because it was a purpose behind it. And you're helping to close what certain cycles and chapters and patterns out. You are meant to be that. It doesn't mean you're meant to stay. Once you do your job and you're out. Some of you guys might have been with somebody. This could be a romantic partner. I'm still getting messages. A romantic partner that you saw something in them. You saw their potential. You try to speak life into it, and this person may have rejected it or just couldn't see that for themselves. It had nothing to do with you, your help, your love, your vision. It had nothing to do with that. Like, you were there to maybe help them see that about themselves, but it's up to them whether they accept it, whether they see it, whether they cultivate on that, whether they sit and ponder with it and then figure out, am I going to walk? Am I going to accept it? Do I want more for myself? Am I really showing up, in the greatest capacity that I can right now in my life, or am I playing small? Am I allowing certain patterns, certain things to hold me back? It's like it's up to them to do that level of work. So it could have been someone that you perceive was like your divine partner, something like that, someone that you were in a relationship with, that you saw this image, this future in them, and they didn't see it for themselves. So they may have rejected the idea, or they rejected you, they shamed you, or they pushed you away, or they felt exposed. They felt, maybe triggered, like, who are you to tell me? Oh, you trying to call me out? Instead of seeing it as like a light shed to activate something, it's like instead it was like a trigger of, oh, you're trying to attack me, or you're trying to control me, you're trying to manipulate me, or I'm fine, don't again, like with the comfortability, people being in that stubborn energy of just like, no, that's not me, and then running to something. This is another thing too, like you might have felt rejected in this sense as well, where some of you may have been in a relationship with someone that you saw this potential in, and you may have tried to pour into that. And then they went, instead of, staying with you or choosing you, for some of you that were just connecting with someone, instead of choosing you or feeling like, oh, they didn't choose me. Ultimately, they chose somebody else, or they went in another direction. Most likely, I guarantee you that they are with somebody or just dealing with multiple people that feed the ego, that keep them in that complacency, not challenging them to outgrow that part of themselves, that kind of say it's okay, let's, trauma bonding, let's stay in our bullshit as long as, it works for us, even though it's not really working, even though it's not healthy. It is keeping the other person stuck. You know what I mean? It's keeping both parties stuck, actually. All right. So, a glimpse into the future. What is a beautiful blessing that is arriving to you soon? Okay, let's tap into that. What is a beautiful blessing that is headed your way soon? Let's tap more into that, because I feel like we kind of grazed over that, but the Maiden of Pentacles. Hmm. The Sun with Sekhmet. You don't play no games. It's like you that might be blossoming out. Like this blessing is like, and then you got the Crone of Pentacles again at the bottom of the deck with the Ace of Wands again beneath that. Okay. So like you're treading towards that blessing real soon. It's like how you see yourself in this new way, it might be like a little scary, like for you to fully be, to take ownership, like this is me, this is who I am, this is my energy. Like it might seem a little uncomfortable at first, but it's like the fearlessness comes after. Like I dare anybody to fuck with me, I dare anybody to ever like play with me again. And not like you're seeking revenge, but it's like you prove people wrong by showing up as your authentic self. It's like shame on anybody that counted me out or tries to count me out, or you know, it's not like you're trying to prove anything. You don't have to prove anything, but you do prove as you show up for yourself. Like you're walking in the mindset of you're walking in your truth, but it's still like this energy of you have like you are tapped into your power in a sense. Like you're not putting yourself in this place of like, hiding. One of my favorite scriptures, it says like, basically I'm paraphrasing, but like a candle is not meant to be hidden. Like a candle is meant to sit and be seen. So your light is meant to be like not in an egotistical way, like, oh, look at me, it's all about me, but like you have a light. You are someone that is meant to activate, to revitalize, to be this positivity, to be this warmth, this joy, and not in an expense where it takes away from your joy, your revitalization, your ascension, your activation, but in a place where it extends, where it might even sting, it might even blind some people because it might be too much for them, but that is not a reflection of something you're doing wrong. The sun is going to shine and exist as it is. Whether you feel like you need to put on the sunglasses, put on the sunglasses. You need an umbrella, put on an umbrella. You need to roll up your window, your tinted window, so you don't see it. That's on you. But the sun is going to do and be what it is, you know? And I feel like that's a blessing. It's like coming into this. Like it might seem a little foreign to you, like new, something you're still learning to like fully embrace. But it's like once it's on, it's just on. Segment energy is very powerful. She don't play no games. Like warrior goddess energy, protectress, and that's like you defending your own energy, at all costs. Let's see. Also, too, like on a practical level, it might be an opportunity for you to actually like get some sort of level of recognition or get your shine on that is presented to you, or that you place your because you place yourself in this acceptance. It's like naturally, it's not something that you got to go out of your way. It's like you just show up, and that opportunity is there. Saturn, age, reality, and discipline. Okay. So over the seat, like over the time, like over the course of time, over you growing wiser, maybe like literally your age, like the more you, I don't want to say get older, but like, when you get up there in number, but like there is actual wisdom, like you're in a place where it's not just because age does not really represent wisdom or less wisdom. Just because I'm younger doesn't mean that I can't be wise, or I can't be wiser or as wise as an older person, or just because I'm an older person doesn't mean that I'm wiser than, someone that's younger than me. um but I feel like this generation of people, it's like there's more of a consciousness about how we move in life, how we show up in the world. So with that age, it does come with more wisdom. We're not in that age of, the past generations where it was like, oh, this is just how things are. This is just what it is, whether it's social conditioning, whether it's religious conditioning or what have, or generational or contribution of all the motherfucking things, combination of all of that. Um, we're not stuck in that energy, that fix, like, oh, this is just how I am. And yes, there are some people that are still in that, but I feel like the generation that we're in, more so is more in alignment with correcting our path and growing. The more we get older, the more wiser we become, as days go by. Because I'm meeting like people, just strangers that some of them are younger than me, and they are doing things and thinking and way more mature than I was at a certain age, like as far as, their accountability and responsibility for themselves, their choices, their decisions. They are taking more heed to that. Um, and I feel like that's a beautiful thing, because it's not always about age, but I feel like, people are going to be way more wiser beyond their years as they grow. If that makes sense? Instead of being stunted and being like, oh, because I'm an elder, you need to listen to me, even though they ways ain't correct. You know what I'm saying? Like, no. All right, Miss Oshun. Okay, again, Oshun of shame and regret, guilt, remorse, self-loathing. Okay, so the blessing that you're coming into is that you're breaking free out of that shame. You're not carrying that energy anymore. It's not something that is either on you anymore or will not be on you. Okay, so how, if you, ugh, can't even talk. What is the frequency for you to embody your manifestations? Like, what is that energy look like fully? Because I feel like we kind of tapped into it, especially with the segment energy. But let's get a more clearer read on that. Like, what frequency do you need to embody for you to step into your manifestations, your beautiful manifestations? So, the hanged one, which is like equivalent to the hangman, the four of swords, the queen of pentacles. Okay. All right. So the energy that you need to embody in order to walk into your manifestations is, it is an energy of just knowing when to just be relaxed and received. Like, if you're used to overextending and over like feel like you need to do too much to be seen or to get opportunities, or you got to work hard, it's like, no, that moderate, that pace, that just that moderate pace, that being present, being okay with the fact that some things, because like we think that our manifestations are not happening when there's nothing, like, oh, there's not a whole bunch of synchronicities, there's not a whole bunch of this going on, or it just seems like your life is kind of just not a lot popping off. But oftentimes it's like when that's when spirit is like really up to some shit. It's like the synchronicities are like the activation codes, like, this is okay, this is happening, or this is like your, this is the genesis of it. We want you to keep going, we want you to keep manifesting, we want you to still believe in it, however that manifestation work looks like. It could be you visualizing, you holding that energy within yourself of belief and faith, or you taking action steps, or you working on things to get yourself in that place of alignment. And then there's times where it's like, when you're close to that thing, okay, now it's like you don't need all that flash of this is going on and this is manifesting. It's like, all right, I've done the work, or my energy is in a place now where I can relax into alignment. I can take a step back now. It's almost like if you're preparing for a flight. So like, you know that there's an arrival, right? You have your arrival numbers and all of that shit, like all of that, your tickets with the numbers on it. That's okay, this is where we're going. This is our destination. Get your shit ready, get packed, get prepped, get prepared, right? You got that time. And then you get on the plane, and it's like you got to trust now the spirit is navigating the shit and you're going to reach your destination. You just need to sit back, you need to relax. So that is how you know like things are on its way, right? That's how things are flowing and manifesting. So that's what I'm getting, like, you don't need to be in this energy of hustle and bustle. You just need to be like receptive right now, because whatever manifestations um that are coming in there, it might be very close, because that's the vibe that I get from this. Like, just rest, relax, chill, you know? Um you're transforming, you're shifting, you're changing even when you're not physically or like consciously doing the work. Like, you think like, "Oh, I got to do this." When you're not, your healing is happening just organically and naturally without your effort, your conscious effort, your physical effort. Yeah. So let's clarify with the Lilith oracles. Put Saturn back. What is the energy that the collective needs to embody when it comes to aligning with their manifestations? Pluto, I've been talking about you. Here you are. Endings and regeneration. Okay. So you're regenerating as you're going through the endings, as things are closing out. Your manifestations are right around the corner. It's like, okay, you're doing the closures, you're cleansing it out. Now we just need you to relax, allow yourself to regenerate, prepare. You know what I mean? Relax. It's okay. It's okay. Oshun, let's see. It's energy. Still be confident in your energy. It's like knowing that you are valuable and that you attract by being you, being present, being open. Oshun of miracles, divine synchronicity, unexpected blessings, hope. All the manifestation or all the synchronicities, all the things that you've seen thus far, it's like take that as like a sign that what's it's on its way to you. Like, your manifestations are on the way, and some of these things, like, you might have forgotten that you asked, or this beautiful things that are coming in that you didn't even know you know were meant, or something that you asked for per se, but your soul needed it, your soul truly did desire, truly did want it. Okay, so yeah, that's beautiful. So now let's get into the sensual energy, okay, of the Taurus. We're gonna ask like what sensual magic is awakening within you. So like this could be your magnetism, your attractiveness level of attractiveness and your energy, maybe physically and or both. So where are you with your spiritual magic, like your or sensual magic, sorry. Where does that energy, what central magic is awakening within you during this Taurus season, collective? The Witch of Cups. Oh, okay. You provoke emotions. So, like emotions that could be very intense, make people feel the depth of their emotions when they don't really want to, or it's like they've never felt that type of level of emotion or love, of healing, of safeness, security, nurturing, compassion. Like they might be like, oh, did you put a spell on me? Or might people might feel that. They might question that. But it's like your energy ultimately is a healer of depth. You are a deep healer, a deep cleanser of energy, but also someone that awakens the heart deeply. Like you take people to levels that they have never swam before emotionally. And that could be scary. It could feel like, well, because no one else has ever been able to do this, what did you do to me? Instead of being like, and it may not be romantically, it could just be people around you that again you're meant to be that light for. It doesn't have to be a romantic energy, but the fact like you're when you're sensual doesn't always have to be a that adult level of that energy. Sensuality or sensual is someone that is in tune with their senses, engaged with all of their senses. So in other words, being locked in, being tuned in, being present in essence, on all levels. Like you got your ears tuned, you're listening, you're aware, your sight, your vision, um, you know, your taste or your palate for what you are able to experience, desire to experience, so on and so forth. It's like your ability to feel, to channel, to tap in, like you being in tune with yourself and with nature, with God and the world around you and the people in your life. If they're not, it will activate that. It will awaken and challenge them to where they are asleep or their senses, they're not fully aware. You know how some people say, and I believe this to be true, like when one of your senses is not fully working, or like if you close your eyes, you can hear better or feel something better or taste better when you like slow down and or you can smell things better when you're maybe, let's say, your eyes are closed, or when you stop and you're like still and you're not listening to the noise around you, you just hone in on one sense. It's stronger, right? But like when you're someone that's fully experiencing life, experience like in the moment, you're going to challenge people to show up in a way or become aware of the ways that they're not fully present or showing up in life or for themselves or for the world around them, or maybe where they're lacking that connectivity with spirit, with the divine, their universe, what have you. So that is the sensuous energy that you're manifesting. Now that's powerful shit. If I described it in the way that I feel it, because that's like, that's an interesting take, spirit. It's very interesting. All right, let's see. The Black Moon Lilith, I'm going to clarify this. What is the sensuous magic that's awakening within you? Black Moon and Scorpio, sexual alchemy. Yeah, so like it could be, could be a little bit of that. Like, damn, but it's without you having to really do much. It's like your energy is very soulful, very rooted, and very like, I don't know how to explain this, but like if it was, a situation where you are, intimate in that way with someone, you're going to activate a lot of energy, like a lot of emotion, depth, because it's like tuning in. You're in tune with everything. It's not, I'm only focused on one pleasure point. I'm sound, sight, everything is like being, utilized, being experienced. You might have someone that has never experienced lovemaking in that capacity, or you might have, whether you've shown them that through your own energy, or like you activated where they're tapping into all of their senses and experiencing lovemaking from all levels, mind, body, and spirit as well. So like, and hearts, your all of that. Okay. Oshun. Put this other card back. Thank you, Spirit, for your divine message and wisdom. Oshun of deception, dishonesty, making or masking, and self-delusion. So the sensuous magic that is awakening within you, again, your ability to call things out in people, you don't have to say anything. It's just like you're a walking mirror, a walking tower, not in a bad way, or like someone that shocks the soul open and awake, you know? It might be someone that's like knocked unconscious and like, damn, what happened? How did I get here? It's like that in a sense, like what you do, you unmask people where they can hold up a mask or they can deceive others, but with you it's like they can't. So if you ever experience people like running from you, ghosting you, having intimate moments with you and then not talking to you again, it's not always going to be, oh, they just wanted it one time, they just wanted to hit it and quit it, or once this person, we got emotional, we got vulnerable with each other, this person ghosted. It's like sometimes it can be too much. Someone that has always hid themselves, purposely hid their true core, don't want people to see it, been able to get along with being in that mass, being able to excel or falsely excel and succeed in situations and environments and opportunities and relationships under that mask, under that disguise, under that falseness, under that deception, and you see past it, that makes them feel very vulnerable and feel like you have some sort of power over them. And that is very scary. And that challenges that false sense of control, you know? So that is what I'm getting as far as like your central magic. So how do you honor this? Honor this sensual energy, your body, your senses, your core self more deeply. How do you honor this? The 10 of Cups. See it as a blessing. See it as something that is very fulfilling to the right people, that the right people, it's exactly what they need. It's going to be a wish fulfillment. And with the right person, and it doesn't have to be just romantic, you know, just energies in general, people. You have the Queen of Cups, you have the Three of Cups, a lot of emotional energy, a lot of spiritual energy, a lot of subconscious energy, intuitive energy. With the right people, it's gonna feel like you're home, you're coming home. You feel welcomed, you feel seen, you feel heard, you feel recognized, you feel like, yeah, you feel the sense of being understood. When you fully honor this part of yourself, it is going to feel like that with the right people. You are going to come across people that are going to, it's like they don't mind that depth that you hold. They don't mind the vulnerability. They don't mind the energy that you provoke in them, because it's like they're living and you're living. You're not really living when you can't be in tune with all parts of yourself. All parts of yourself is not always going to be pretty and jolly, look good outside on all the time. It's always gonna feel good. There might be parts of yourself where it's like where you're living in a sense of just being present and laughing at things genuinely because you enjoy it, or riding your bike feels like the best day you ever had, or anything, it's like being able to be present with whatever 24 hours you have in the day, and being able to find something to like in it, whether it was like the pain, because sometimes like feeling the pain of a situation again is living too. Like when you really feel you're alive, you're awake. But if you just try to be this numb motherfucker that don't feel anything, that doesn't find joy or beauty in anything, or you can't find or just feel, just be, you're not living. You know what I mean? You're not present, you're not living. Or you feel like you have to perform, like that gets exhausting, trying to show up and be everything for everyone, or feel like this is what I got to do, this is how I got to survive. That is exhausting as fuck. It's exhausting. Um, so the people that are present and that are living and aware and living does not always have to be, oh, my life is so exciting. I'm getting on roller coasters, I'm, getting on jet skis and I'm going traveling here and there. That sometimes people that have those experiences are not present in enjoying that moment either. So it has nothing to do with that type of shit. You could be at home on your couch, relax, like in your body, saying, oh, I'm comfortable in my bed or my couch. The AC is on or the heat is on, I'm cozy, I'm warm, or I'm chill. um I'm sipping on my favorite tea, my favorite wine, I'm watching my favorite show, I'm laughing, I'm present, I'm in gratitude. That is beautiful. That is beautiful. That is beautiful. So that energy, I feel like when you are fully in that, the more you're you're gonna be able to, how do I explain this? It's almost like when you encounter people that are also in that same frequency and energy, it feels like a blessing. It feels like a relief. If again, it feels like you're seen, you're safe, you're comfortable. They feel seen, they feel safe. There's a level of appreciation that's exchanged because you have the Three of Cups, you have the Queen of Cups, the Ten of Cups, and the Witch of Cups. That was in the last question. So let's clarify one last thing. All right. Dark Night of the Soul. I'm not sure how to pronounce this. It says calcination. I don't know. I'm not sure if that's how you say it. It's like an Egyptian goddess statue or something. Like she has Saturn. It's like as above, so below, the Saturn energy, and then she has a vase um with her. It's like her upper hand has Saturn underneath it, and then the hand that's like below her, she's holding that vase. So that energy, that heavy energy of Saturn, that work, that discipline, it does pay off. It's like that energy is like what I have in this vase is far valuable. It's beautiful. It's almost like being squeezed, like squeezing juice, squeezing something into creating a juice, a liquid, something that nourishes you, or like the process of olive oil, or creation of olive oil, that pressuring, that squeezing, that extraction, that energy, as it becomes something sacred or something used for different things, something that's useful, divinely useful. So like whatever it is that was your pressure points, your assignments, your shadow work, like it's a beautiful extension. So like honoring this part of yourself is like, this is a part of what makes me sacred, a part of me that makes me a nourishing energy presence. That's what I'm getting from this. Ashun's Ashe. Worthiness, self-worth, and self-respect. Yeah, like the more you, because you got to know your energy, your essence, your ashe, your blessings, your extension that you provide, like how you transform lives, how you enhance lives, how you, like the presence and the power that you hold. You may never fully understand it because you're not on the other side experiencing it. So it's almost like you're on the outside looking in of what's how someone experiences you and your energy, your presence. But it's the knowing that you have a beautiful power and energy within you, a prosperous spirit. And like the more you value this, the more you respect yourself, the more that energy is reflected back to you. Now, of course, there's always going to be a shadow effect to this, but that doesn't take away from the fact that you are who you are, you know, and that people see it. Even the ones that try to hate, try to throw shade on it. Um, let's see, your sensual magic energy, embodying this. I almost had it. I caught it, tried to catch it with my thigh. That didn't work. Soulmates. It says, my beautiful child, it seems that this person is your soulmate. Enjoy this connection and the passion it brings. Do not be afraid to explore and experience this connection. This is a very deep spiritual love. If you don't have anyone yet, this is the energy when you embody that sensuous magic that you are. Your energy is going to attract somebody that is a soul match for you. Okay? Your soul's match, because it's like your soul is your experience and your what I mean experience. You're open in your experience, you're present in your experience, and your human experience as your spiritual higher self. Like you're present in all of this. You know, you're accepting the fact, like, yeah, I am human as well, but I'm also higher than that. I'm something greater, something more infinite than that, than just this human experience. And I can find beauty in both the madness, the sadness, the joy, the transitions, the stillness. I can find in the fast pace. Like I can find in all layers of just multiple layers. And my soul is bared, it's open, but it's still discerning and protective. So someone that is also in that same energy, that has that space to really feel, because it's like, let's put it like this: being in a relationship with somebody that's not emotionally open and is refusing to do that, and you're someone of heart, you pour into people, so naturally you desire to be poured into, that is not a vibrational match for you, because that person is not centered in their heart. They don't allow themselves to feel, they don't allow themselves to bear, so bear truth, to reveal, to unpack, to express, to explore. um that relationship's not going to work, right? Because it's not a vibrational match. Two people that are givers, two people that have the heart, two people that are willing to be vulnerable, even if it's uncomfortable, someone that's willing to hold space for another person, to pour into others, to be poured into, and vice versa. That is somebody that's more of a vibrational match to you, because it's like we both have that ability to share and to give. But as long as it's like, I'm this heart-centered person, I'm this individual, because not everybody operates exactly the same, but it's like the level of, like, your capacity to exchange should be a vibrational match too, right? If it's like, oh, I can't, oh, I'm not gonna do that, and put caps and levels and limits, not in the sense of like healthy boundaries, but in this sense of limitation, in this sense of control, in this sense of closed mindedness, closed off, you're not a vibrate, your soul is not gonna match with anything like that. It's just not. Or you limiting your own self and saying, oh, I can only love in this capacity, or I can only love people like this and that, in a way that's very limited and very controlling, um, very stunted, rather than open and bare. Because true love, soul filled love, you have to strip yourself of your ego. You cannot build genuine connections with masks and facades and agendas. It's just not going to work. It's not going to be built off of anything foundational, because it's not fully authentic. Relationships have its challenges, and as long as people are their authentic selves, meaning this is how I feel, this is what I want, and it might change. Your desires, your wants, your needs may change, your fears, your desires, like, to be open and present as a human, like any relationship, friendships, family, like, you're not going to get anywhere if you can't bear it all. Be truthful, be honest, because it's going to be times where it's scary, but vulnerability is scary because you're not carrying that facade or a mask. You're not trying to protect and cloak. It's just, it's there, here it is. We're laying it out. And you're going to find your soul tribe the more you are your authentic, truthful self as you are. And it might be times where you feel like, oh, this is like really cringy, or this is doing too much, or it's not enough, or I have these insecurities, or, it's like, if you can't be honest, like I always tell my friends, like, I don't mind y'all being real and honest with me. Like, yes, some things might sting, but be honest. And we're that way with each other. If I ever make you feel a certain way, please tell me. Don't be afraid. That's beautiful building. That is a beautiful building, rather than be like, oh, we're never going to talk about it. We're just going to sweep it under the rug. We're going to forget that, just pretend like it doesn't exist. I'm going to have pride and ego and not like that. Relationships and connections like that are never going to grow. And if you're the open person and you're dealing with a closed person, you're always going to feel like you're hitting a wall. You're always going to feel like something is amiss. And if you're someone that is wounded and you have to prove, or feel like you have to prove yourself to someone in order to love you, you're still dealing with those wounds. That is going to be like this challenge for you. Oh, this person's still struggling to open up. Well, let me pry some more. Let me stick it out. And you're just abusing yourself at that point. You know what I mean? So, no. Okay. Let's see if there's anything else in regards to love. And then we'll close this out for the season of Taurus. This message. Okay. How to follow your pleasure that's going to lead you to deeper love, a deeper, powerful love. Like, how would following your pleasure lead you to deeper love, a powerful love where your soul is seen, and loved and cherished. 10 of Cups, the 8 of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah, you have to allow yourself to receive. You have the 5 of Cups that's in reverse. The Witch of Cups is at the bottom again. So, like, someone that is able to be in your magic, bask in it, celebrate it. So, like, by you following your pleasure looks like, for you, like, what emotionally fulfills you, what genuinely makes you happy, and not getting stuck on the rejection, because that's another thing too. Like, if you're worried about rejection, that's another, or you, not to say that you won't ever fear or feel rejection, but if you give too much power to the fear and you worry about it, you fixate on it, it's going to keep you like capsuled, stuck, you know what I mean? Like, kind of held in this like time and space where maybe you've experienced rejections, or what you felt to be rejections, where you felt like you were not the chosen one or something like that. If you allow your heart to still be centered around those rejections, because I feel like you might have experienced rejection from different angles, not just romantic ones, but different types of relationships, different type of experiences where you felt rejected. And this like keeps you, it's like it takes away from the work that you've done so far. Like, if you harp on that, to also follow your pleasure could be believing in your fairy tale. Like, what is your personal fairy tale? Like, what does your heart really desire in love? Like, from a healthy place, not from this place of like, oh, it's just gonna be like, let's say like a beautiful fairy tale is a relationship with someone that loves you for you, somebody that you can have